Welcome to this week's episode of Stories Untold, where we focus on GBV. Statistics of gender-based violence and femicide in South Africa remain very high. What is alarming is that most of this violence occur in a home where there's no immediate assistance for the vulnerable. However, there are individuals who commit themselves to support and assist the vulnerable.
Some activists say South Africa might as well be labelled a mass grave for women killed by men.
With the number of cases increasing on a daily, and a South African community that is forever outraged by this pandemic, one wonders how deep the pain is for those directly affected by the femicide and missing children. One person who knows the depth of the struggles these families go through is Sitole. It has become a norm to generalize the notion that boys who grow up without their fathers become wounded men. Though Brian grew up without his father, he refused to let that turn him into a bitter man. In his teenage years, he set out to pursue a relationship with his father, and today, the two are each other's support structure. His father let us in on how it all started.
I was not part of it up until Angena High School.
Brian took the bold step to confront Bishop Mabena, whom he had learned is his biological father.
Ngendaba zabo ma-Father's Day. uBrian athi kimi makangifonela, ngizwa nzima, kunzima. Being a son of a pastor, makwenziwa abo-Father's Day esontweni and mina I'm a ringleader, akwenzakali lutho kimi, where is my daddy? And my father is still alive. Angibize and then we had iphathinyana McDonald's sihlalele sidle. I called my family, my wife, nabantwana bakibo ama siblings. Sengibatshela ngithi nginomntwana phela mina okhona olama uRose. Sesiyazana ke noBrian siya engage uthe sekacala ukusebenza wangithatha wangimisa eCarnival City birthday yakhe ngacala kuyazi ngalelo langa ukuthi no uBrian wazalwa nini.
This young man is the founder of One Voice Foundation. He introduced us to the purpose of this foundation.
Our organization is an organization that advocates against gender-based violence and femicide. We realize the rising scourge of femicide and GBV cases in our country, whereby, if we remember very well, including the president of the country, called this GBVF thing as a second pandemic after COVID-19. So we felt we need to stand up.
A pledge that we made to each other to work together to end violence that the men of our country, perpetrate against women and children in South Africa.
We've been working with cases such as the Amahle Tabete's case, the child who went missing in the year 2019 on the 6th of April. We were the people on the ground, mobilizing the masses, conducting the searches, holding the South African police services accountable. Whenever maybe we would hear there is a tip-off somewhere, we would make sure that the police and their search and rescue teams are always there.
Not only does this foundation assist the families of victims, they also take it upon themselves to educate the community on matters that normally leave the ordinary man in the street confused and frustrated by the outcomes of these cases.
27-year-old Samantha Zungu was from Duduza. She was 9 months pregnant when she was struck with an iron rod on the head.
We received the notification that the woman has been allegedly murdered by the boyfriend. The matter dragged for a year. Luckily, we told the family to say, like, your case has been one of the most successful cases because some of these cases, they take about 2 to 3 years. Some of them, they never even receive justice. The guy was sentenced last year to 24 years imprisonment. This one of Samantha Zungu, the convicted murderer, is in Mkhosi Mampuru correctional facility. So that is one of the most difficult prisons to be in. So indeed, for that family of Zungus, justice has prevailed. So those are the achievements as an organization we say we are proud of, because we've been there from day one. We made sure that the family has transport to attend these court cases. So that is one of the supports that we give to these families.
In one instant, a case they had been following up since it happened was written off, and Brian and his team would not let that happen.
For me, it was one of the greatest shocks I've ever received in my life. I've never had in my whole life whereby a case that is trial ready, a watertight case that is ready to proceed before the court of law, being withdrawn. It's a different story when a case has not yet been concluded. We even sat down with the investigating officers to say, please tell us, is this case going to be a success of a prosecution? And then he said yes, only to find out that that case was going to be withdrawn. We even went further to communicate with the National Prosecuting Authority. The matter was transferred to the Director of Public Prosecutions, and then it was referred back to the South African Police Services that this matter needs to be re-investigated.
Listening to Brian share his knowledge on this subject, we wanted to know how he developed such love of understanding the judiciary system.
By profession, I am a boiler maker. So that I was advised by my mom, because she saw someone driving nice car, this guy is an artisan and all of those things. But that was not in my heart in terms of going to the engineering side. What was in my heart was to become a lawyer. That was in my heart. But then sometimes things don't happen according to our way. Because if I went through the school of law, then it was going to be a problem, because I had to protect the murderers, the very same people that I want them behind bars today. So, and then things changed along the way. Yes, I want to pursue this career of law. So, but now I don't want to be an advocate for the perpetrators, for the suspect. I want to serve on the right side, whereby people need to be convicted for any wrongdoings.
Receiving a phone call letting you know that your daughter has been murdered by someone who claims to love them turns your world upside down.
This community advocate opened our eyes to the reasons behind community petitions. One of the key things that they always want to achieve as a foundation is to get suspects apprehended and denied bail until proven guilty or innocent.
They are received as an evidence. They are admitted before court as an evidence. So it's not just a petition for fun. It's not like we are outside the court toying and all of those things. But it speaks directly to the Justice Department to say the community is outraged. Should you release this person, they are at risk of being suffering a mob justice because the community is outraged. So we try to maintain peace within our communities.
This foundation has more than 10 cases of femicide and missing children that they are handling, and one of Brian's duties is to visit the families of the victims, usually in preparation of court appearances. We caught up with him as he visited mothers of femicide victims whose cases are sitting this week. Nomthandazo was murdered by her live-in boyfriend, who was later found trying to commit suicide. Nomthandazo's mom took us through the fateful day she learned about her daughter's passing.
Sathola umntwana sele nje ngesikipaleni lapha phansi hlahlela intamo le kwana nje ukuthi nqamuke nje umsipha wambulala wamenza yonke into mani wamkhama wamsika ngama-grinder unamamakho ezimvuba amamakho awazi uyamurora induku nje athola nje enye into nje engabhekeki beka umntwana hands-on umntwana onothando nje ekuseni uzofona ora WhatsApp mami yo how are you ulele njani uyabona then ufika lapha ngimthole alele lapha yana in a pool of blood lifeless impela akukho mnandi nje angikho right at all akukho mnandi.
Mama Pindile sings praises of Brian's involvement in her daughter's murder case.
Kube usizo kakhulu kwanginika nethemba support structure yonke into bangenzela nje into engangingayicabanganga ngoba kwaba ne-memorial service on a Thursday. After that kwaba i-candlelight prayer kube nomehluko nokukhuthaza amantombazana ngalesimo sehlelo umntanami that awareness abayilethile nje ithemba liba khona yazi mawusenkingeni enjengalena makuloko kuvela abantu abanjengabo ukuthi bakukhuthaze ukuthi hayi mama sinani niwumndeni yonke lonto leyo it gives hope.
Femicide and missing children really leave an unbearable wound in the lives of the victims' families. Mama Pindile's pain is deep.
Kubhlungu yazi ngathi ngingazibambela yena endlela kungakhona and uyambona nje umuntu wakhona ukuthi akukho lathinteka khona. He shows no remorse. Uye nje uyakhuluma normally akana sora akana ngekusubuye nje ngiyangilimaza konke lokho.
We hope that this painful journey of attending the cases soon comes to an end, and Mama Pindile has one wish for this whole process.
Ngifisa kwangathi umthetho ungaqinisa isandla kube buhlungu noma kubhlungu kimi manje noma angagwetshwa lo mfana kodwa umntana mina angeke aphinda abuye kodwa ngifuna benze ukuthi kube isifundo nabanye abasacabanga ukuyenza lento abone isibonelo ngaye.
Paula Mqoma was brutally beaten by her live-in boyfriend, and she passed on after 4 days in hospital. Her mom told us about Paula's last days on earth.
Gamal kipilo khuluma nje kayi2 wathi uSipho ushaye ibhodlela enhloko ngacollapse so from lapha ngazi ukuthi kwenzakaleni hlala naye sibuye abo 1:30 kungena icall but akasekho.
Mama Ellen shared with us Brian's involvement in their case.
Bafika la bezwa ukuthi kunale inkinga esinayo. Beza bazokhulumisana nathi, benza ama-candle light, bafuna ukuthi sixhomane sisebenzisane kule case.
She says the hardest thing about this process is facing her daughter's killer.
Kunzima dali, ayikho into elula esikhathini esiningi ngangokuba kwabuya lapha ecourt. Uyifisana nomuntu obulela umntanakho kunzima. Nama social workers amile ukukhuluma nathi but siyazama ukuxola but yazi kothatha isikhathi vele obvious but ayikho into esizayenza ukuthi si-attende leyo court apha mthile egcineni sibone ukuthi i-justice idlala kanjani.
Brian is a husband and a father, a community leader and an advocate who will not go to sleep until justice is served.
With all that Brian is doing for the community of Guatemala, where does he find his support and strength? For this hero, it seems like home is where it all begins.
Mhlambe kwesinye isikhathi mangabe khona into emstressayo or mhlambe ayi izinto azenzeki ngalendlela le afisa ukuthi izenzeke ngayo like yabo ngiyazama ukuthi ngimcalm down like I relax ayicabangisise kahle mhlambe leyo nto le kumele ayenze. Uyindoda enenhliziyo enhle. Khona la last khona I think begulumelo bekumele aye caseini. Kwamele ukuthi ngihambe ngiyi-1 ka doctor like ngimyekele ukuthi yena ahamba ayosiza umphakathi. Yeah, kanjalo nje. Kwesinye isikhathi nawo uthola mhlambe kumele sema-meetingini sonke wesikolo asikhona ukuya soba-2 kwesinye isikhathi kumele ngihambe ngiyi-1 ngoba yena kumele ayenza izinto zomphakathi mhlambe aqeda ukumfonela ukuthi naku sekune-case sekumele aphuthume lapho kulelo case lelo.
Catherine, a chairperson at One Strong Voice, expresses how proud she is of Brian.
He put his heart in everything. Hence, most of the events, he's the one who organized them. He's the one who assists the families in most cases. So I would say he's really a community leader. He actually lead by example, especially in the male cases.
Catherine also shared with us about one of the many cases where Brian proved he is the hero that they believe he is.
There was one, the case that we had for Mr. Ndlozi, who killed the boyfriend and the girlfriend. So the case was very cold in our court in Springs, where he intervened for the case to be taken to the High Court in Pretoria. Fortunately, the case, we won the case. I would say that we won the case through him, and he was sentenced to death sentence, life sentence or something like that. Yes, he, in One Strong Voice Foundation, he's the one who's running most than us, because we've got other commitment as we are working. But definitely he is a community leader and he's got this thing in his heart.
You don't pay anything for that.
Seseyinde indima yabo ngempela babangakhathali futhi babangagcini la ekhaya. Ngithanda ukusho uBrian ukuthi makashintshi. Sometimes izinto ezinjengalezi abanye abantu ziyabashintsha, agcina omunye umuntu angasamazi ukuthi uyini ngoba uyazi ukuthi udependent and reliant kuye. So ngicela ukuthi mabakashintshi ngendlela benza ngayo la ekhaya nakwabanye benze kanjalo, ngoba kokunye if it was in those prayers nokunginika ithemba angazi ngabe nginjani.
Yazi ngibhlungu vele ngalaba abangatholi abantu abafana nabo Brian. Brian bayakhuthaza, bayanceda, bayanenza ukuthi nibe nomdlandla ngoba sesikhathi nihamba amakhesi nive bathi ikhesi seyifelele, awazi ukuthi iphele kanjani, kwenzakaleni. But ngoba kukhona bona and akusibo kuphela, akusabo ba-organizer nabanye, kuba yabona igroup khuthalwe, kube yabona kuba right yonke into iphusheke, at least akufani.
We've come to the end of another inspiring episode of Stories Untold. Catch us next week, same place, same time.